Hey, what's up, everybody? I'm gonna do a classic rock reaction. This is Led Zeppelin, man. Led Zeppelin from the Houses of the Holy album, and a song called Over the Hills and Far Away. I just wanted to first give a shout out and a thanks very much to Keith Knight. Keith, thank you very much, man. Keith sent me two links. He sent me the studio version of this song, and then also the Madison Square Garden 1973 live version of this song. And he had this idea that he said that he's noticed that some of the songs from this particular album, I've actually favored the live renditions just slightly more than the studio. And he wants to run an experiment to see if it might be the same with this song as well. So hey man, good idea. Thanks very much for the links. Thanks for the idea. So let's do a back-to-back, man. First the studio, do a little read, and then we're gonna hit the live version. So let's check this out, man, starting with the studio version. Over the Hills and Far Away, studio version. Let's get it. Nice acoustic beginning. Folksy. Oh, nice. It's a nice mellow song, kind of like the Led Zeppelin 3 album. Very nice. Nice and mellow.
Hey lady, you got the love I need. Maybe more than enough. Oh darling, 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 walk a while with me. Oh, you got so much, so much, so much.
He's a great singer, man. I really like this acoustics. Nice mellow version of it. There's the thunder. The song is completely changed in a good way.
Many dreams come true, and somehow still the lion. I live for my dream and a pocket full of gold.
There's some great lyrics in this song. Fantastic. Over the hills and far away. I was expecting an acoustic. Oh, shut up, Wayne. Okay, okay, that's the end. Yo, that was excellent. That was an excellent, excellent song. That is my idea of a near perfect rock and roll song. It's got a great start. It's got excellent lyrics, great point of view, tells a great story, relatable, excellent musicianship. It's got every single thing in it that I can think of that you would want from a really good rock and roll song. Fantastic tune. Yo, man. And again, it's got that element that some of you were telling me that I would trip about. That kind of, it takes you on a little bit of a journey and that sort of thing. I see what you're talking about. Yo, man. It's got it all. And you know what I forgot to do? Some of you warned me about this. I almost took my phones off before the end. And if I wasn't running my damn mouth, I would have taken my phones off earlier and I would have missed the ending. So sorry, I forgot about your warning about that. Yeah, this is the song where I had to listen to the very end. Yo, excellent. It's a long outro though, so you know, I mean, I imagine that a lot of people probably on the first listen didn't know that it was such a long outro and just, maybe turned things off or took their phones off before it ended. But yo, excellent song overall, man. Holy. Starts off so nice with the acoustics. I thought it was going to go all the way through, but then the thunder dropped in. And of course, I love the thunder. It's all good. But yo, excellent. It's got a little bit of everything. That rhythm section slays me, man. But you know what, though? As great as the guitars were, as great as the rhythm sections were, and their great interaction, the lyrics really stand out to me here. Plant's singing is fantastic. It's the lyrics that were talking to me the most that I was really, really tuning in. I was really like, with some songs, I don't strain too much to get every single word, but with this song, I was really, really straining to get every single word. I really love the lyrics of this song, man. I gotta download the lyrics and read them, but the gist of it is that he's telling a story from the perspective of a man who is going through a number of different, it isn't challenges so much as he's thinking about his life, planning on what to do next. He's got a couple of different perspectives and points of view about love and the wisdom that he should be embracing, what he should be pursuing, different things like that. He's like he's like a fork in a road. Maybe he's got some moral challenges and he's got to make a decision. That kind of damned if you do, damned if you don't kind of scenario. I'm going to have to read the lyrics, but yo, I think I've got a pretty good clear picture of what the song means. Excellent song, holy. Yo, it's got everything in it. It slowed down when it needed to slow down. It pitched up, went to some thunder, and then it came back again with the acoustics. Excellent song. Over the hills and far away. Yo, man. This is, these are hidden gems, y'all. These are hidden gems. Yeah, hiding behind the likes of Stairway to Heaven and Immigrant Song, Rock and Roll, and Black Dog. You gotta look below the surface of the iceberg, because all of the buried treasure is just in behind those well-known songs. You know, whenever I discover a really great song like this, and it seems to be the norm now with Led Zeppelin, I always go back to the beginning when I started my channel, and I had this assumption about Led Zeppelin that, yeah, okay, I'm pretty familiar with them. That's what I used to say. And that I'll probably, maybe hit one or two quads, and then I'll move on and I'll be done with Led Zeppelin. Man. Whenever I hit a really great Led Zeppelin song and I discover it, I go back to that stupid ass assumptive that I had in my mind. Man, when you assume. All right, so let's do a little read here, man. Introduce the band, a little bit on the song, and then we're gonna hit our live rendition of this tune. So a quick read on the band. Led Zeppelin. Led Zeppelin were an English rock band formed in London in 1968. The group consisted of guitarist Jimmy Page, singer Robert Plant, bassist and keyboardist John Paul Jones, and drummer John Bonham. The band's heavy guitar-driven sound has led them to be cited as one of the progenitors of heavy metal. Their style drew from a wide variety of influences, including blues, psychedelia, and folk music. After changing their name from the New Yardbirds, Led Zeppelin signed a deal with Atlantic Records that afforded them considerable artistic freedom. Although the group were initially unpopular with critics, they achieved significant commercial success. They were inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 1995. The museum's biography of the band states that they were as influential during the 1970s as the Beatles were during the 1960s. Fantastic. Great accomplishment. All right, so let's see what we can learn about this tune, man. Over the Hills and Far Away. Over the Hills and Far Away is the third track from English rock band Led Zeppelin's 1973 album Houses of the Holy. It was released as a single with Dancing Days as the B-side in the US. This evolved from the Yardbirds song White Summer, an acoustic solo by Jimmy Page. Many of the same riffs and chords are in it. Oh man, White Summer, I love that. That was awesome. The music was inspired by Jimmy Page's Celtic ancestry. This began as an instrumental. Robert Plant came up with backing tracks and then lyrics. Plant's lyrics were inspired by the J.R.R. Tolkien book The Hobbit and to Tolkien's 1915 poem of the same name. Over the Hills and Far Away describes the adventure the hobbits embark on. Jimmy Page and Plant originally constructed the song in 1970 at Bron-Yr, a small cottage in Wales, where they stayed after completing a grueling North American tour. It had no electricity or running water. There's an old English song called Over the Hills and Far Away that dates back to the 18th century. It appears in John Gay's play The Beggar's Opera. This might be where the band got the title. If you listen closely, you can hear an acoustic guitar playing throughout the song. The song was first called Many, Many Times, as shown on a picture of the original master of the Led Zeppelin website, on the Led Zeppelin website. The song was released as Houses of the Holy's first US single, reaching number 51 on the Billboard Hot 100, later becoming a staple on the classic radio rock format. Set lists from Led Zeppelin concerts frequently contained Over the Hills and Far Away, the song being one that the band introduced on stage well ahead of its studio release. The live recording on How the West Was Won, a combined edit of the concerts on the 25th and 27th of June 1972, was the second public performance of the song. In his spoken introduction to the song before the performance of the 27th of June in 72 in Long Beach, California, Robert Plant says, quote, "We did this song once before, the night before last at the Forum, and it was too much, really great," unquote. The band continued to play it on the rest of the 1972 concert tour of North America and retained it consistently till 1979. Reception. In a contemporary review for Houses of the Holy, Gordon Fletcher of Rolling Stone criticized Over the Hills and Far Away, calling the track dull, as well as writing the track is, quote, cut from the same mold as Stairway to Heaven, but becomes dull without that song's torrid guitar solo. Unquote. Dull. Let's keep reading. I feel a rant coming, and I don't want to beat up on Rolling Stone because I know it upsets a number of you when I go off on Rolling Stone. So let me bite my tongue. Let's keep going. The song has received greater acclaim in more recent years. Rolling Stone ranked Over the Hills and Far Away at number 16 in its list of the 40 greatest Led Zeppelin songs of all time in 2012. Andrew Unterberger of Spin in 2014 ranked Over the Hills and Far Away as Led Zeppelin's best song, writing that it best demonstrates just about everything the band does well. The unforgettable and impossible to pin down opening riff, wow, he's really going off here with describing it. The life-affirming transition from acoustic to electric, the constant switches in tone and dynamic, the piercing solo with double-track climax, the impeccable interplay of guitar, bass, and drum, the inimitable plant shrieking, the gorgeous coda, even the super oblique title. Unquote. Okay, so he really likes the song. Critic Bill Wyman, writing for Vulture.com in 2015, ranked it as Led Zeppelin's 6th best song. All right. All I'm going to say about critics is that it's amazing to me just how diverse on opposite sides of the spectrum that their opinions lie. It's just so, there's no middle ground. It's like, yo, I really don't like this, or I really, really like this. It's just, I don't know. That's all I'm going to say. I'm not going to beat up on Rolling Stone. Show a little grace. All right. So, man, that was Wikipedia Song Fact Info on the band and the background of this really excellent song, in my humble, non-critical opinion. So, let's hit our second rendition of this song, man, the live rendition. I believe this was from The Song Remains the Same concert. I don't know if this actual song is included in the movie, but I believe The Song Remains the Same was from Madison Square Garden in '73. All right, let's check it out, man. Over the Hills, Far Away, live. Let's get it.
This is a track about, I suppose it's about you and me and everybody. You've probably written one just the same. Over
It's a good shot of the crowd.
Far, far away. Hey lady, you got the love I need. Maybe walk a while with me. Oh, you got so much. I really need so much. I have to have so much. Many times I've lied, and many times I've listened. Many times I've gazed along the open road. Many times I've lied, and many times I've listened. Many times I've wondered how much there is to know. Many dreams come true in some silver lining. I live for my dream and a pocket full of gold. Some Acapulco gold every time.
Not a problem. It's not a bass groove, man. Spirit of his delivery.
Melody of a man who knows what he's been missing. Many, many men can't see the open road. Many ill words, I really do guessing. Guessing about a thing you really ought to know. You really ought to know. Should know. You know it's true now.
All right. Okay, man. Over the hills and far away. Madison Square Gardens in '73. Excellent. Excellent. Totally see the contrast between the two in reference to the studio being a little bit very, very polished and, versus the live version. The live version is more raw and it's got more energy. And I can understand, how some people might favor one side over the other and vice versa. I equally like both renditions. I would say equally. I'd probably have to play it a couple of times back to back and let it really, really soak in. But going on my first impressions of previous songs, I definitely like the live rendition just slightly more than the studio rendition for Song Remains the Same and the Rain song. No Quarter as well. With this particular song, it's a toss-up between the two. I like the studio version for what I've given reasons for being a little bit more polished, but the live version has a little bit more energy going for it, so there's kind of like a dual there. I don't know which version I really like more. I'm just gonna have to listen to it a couple of times, but both are very, very good, man. Excellent in their own respective rights and in their own platforms. I know that a lot of you said to me that Led Zeppelin works some great studio magic, and there's just no way in the world that they can replicate that in a live setting. They do really, really good with what they've got, and watching these guys, it's incredible just watching them, masters at work. I look at Jimmy Page, man, the spirit of his delivery. It's why the guy is so far my favorite guitarist. You can find probably other guitarists that are more technically sound, more proficient, more this, more that, more great in every area. But the charm of this guy is just the way he delivers what he's playing. It's the spirit of his delivery. I'll never forget that quote, and I always use it to refer to Jimmy Page because it encapsulates exactly why I consider him to be my personal favorite so far. Excellent. But all of them are fantastic musicians. And man, if you have like a top 10 list, they would all be in that top 10 list of who is your favorite rock musician. They would all be in that top 10 list, all of them. Wow. To bring 4 individuals like this together in a certain moment of time to create music like this, it's just one of those anomalies, man, in music. And how lucky are we to have had them for, how long were they around? 10 years? Incredible, fantastic, great accomplishment. And I'm sure that they're very, very proud of what they accomplished. They definitely ought to be. They create some great music. And, hey, everyone's got their own opinion as to, okay, well, the guy from Rolling Stone didn't like it. I wonder if he might have changed his position after a couple of years. Hey, not everybody's going to like Led Zeppelin. I just wonder, though, with a little bit more exposure, maybe at the onset, they weren't quite sure what Led Zeppelin was about. Maybe they were still trying to figure them out. But, Houses of the Holy, that's 5 albums in. I mean, how much more exposure do you need? Hey, but it's okay. Some people just might not bring themselves to like certain bands or a certain sound or what have you, and that's fine. But I just wonder, it seems like a lot of the harsh judgment is just only coming from Rolling Stone. Maybe it's just what I'm reading. Maybe because I read Wikipedia most of the time, I'm only seeing reviews primarily from Rolling Stone. Maybe that's what it is, and it's giving me maybe a tainted impression of them. But I'm quite sure that there are, of course, other critics out there that, of course, didn't like Led Zeppelin, who weren't from Rolling Stone. But that's just all I'm seeing. It's just that pattern. No judgment, and I'm definitely not turning this into a rant against them. I'm just making an observation. Let me get off of that, though. So anyway, man, I really like the story being told in the song. The song really overall tells an excellent story, very relatable, and it gives you every single thing that you can ask for from a rock and roll song, from my point of view anyway. And yeah, it's excellent. It's a great song, man. One of those, I won't say it's buried treasure. Maybe it's buried treasure to me because I've never heard it, but to you guys, it's just confirming what you already know. And many of you have said, yeah, you're really gonna like this, man. So, and you're right, I do. I'm just scrolling down to my notes here, man, before I bounce. But definitely before I bounce, I want to give a shout out and a thank you again to Keith Knight. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. Thank you for the suggestion, the back-to-back suggestion, and to compare the two, the studio versus the live. Very good idea. I really like doing that. So my notes are telling me that I've got a Tim Buckley tribute coming up. That's Jeff's father. And that's coming up on the 29th. I'm going to close off the month with a full album reaction to Are You Experienced, the Jimi Hendrix album. And I got a couple of other things in the shoot. I still got some questions about what I've been doing on my Patreon, what's Patreon exclusive. Just go down into the comments. Usually I leave examples of what it is. So just go down into the description and you're going to have a little blurb, an explanation, and also a link of an example of what Patreon exclusive is. Okay? I'm not going to take up time talking about it. I've done that a few times already. And yeah, man. So that is my reaction to this excellent song. So far, I'm really liking the album. I see the growth progression in their musicianship, their cohesive playing. In this song, man, the rhythm section, these two gents, the two Johns, are just so tight, so unified. It's incredible, man. And they provide such an incredible platform for Page to just do whatever he wants. And when he's going off into his solos and stuff like that, that's when you really come to appreciate the rhythm section, man. They're fantastic, these guys. But all of them, all four of them collectively, are really excellent. I have a great amount of respect and adoration for the two Johns, though. And it's growing more and more as I go along my Led Zeppelin journey. So, man, that is my reaction. Those are my notes and my updates. So thanks very much, man. I hope you like this reaction. I don't know what the other Led Zeppelin song is on this album. I'm gonna have to take a look, but you can expect that probably in another week or so, man. I try to do at least one Led Zeppelin reaction per week, if not within a week, at least, a week to maybe 9 or 10 days. So not too far removed from a week. Anyway, have a good day. Thanks very much for joining me, and I'll catch you in my next Zeppelin reaction. Peace.